Hey guys, Matt from the Yugioh card game podcast here. I'm going to be profiling my Lightsworn Synchro deck. Let's take a look. So here we have the Lightsworn engine, as I like to call it, which is basically the milling engine of the deck. 3 Wulfs, 2 Lyla Lightsworn Sorceress, 1 Garoth, 1 Lumina, and then 1 Charge of Light Brigade and 3 Solar Recharge. I really, really like milling Wulf. That's why I have 3 in here. And the philosophy of the deck is to try and mill as much as possible. Pretty much everything in the deck has 2 purposes, either to be milled or synchroed with. That's pretty much it. So with the 3 Wulfs, all of this makes good food for Solar Recharge. If it gets stuck in my hand, I combo it with Fishborg Blaster. I have Treeborn and Fishborg in here for Formula Synchron, and since I'm milling so much, it's pretty easy to get them into the graveyard. I'm also using, down here in my spells, Foolish Burial and 1 for 1. So, in case anything starts to clog up my hand, or I need something in the graveyard really badly, I have Foolish Burial and 1 for 1. Also, as part of my milling engine, I have Card Trooper. Amazing card, especially if you get it first turn. You mill 3 cards, you still have a pretty big deck. Just mills monsters. Dandylion we have, Shiny Black Sea, Malicious, some of the other Lightsworns, which I will get to right now. We have Quickdraw Synchron. On top of the Dandylion tokens, the Shiny Black Sea, the Treeborn Frog, and all of the milling that I have, it's pretty easy to use Quickdraw to synchro summon for Junk Destroyer or Drill Warrior, and with Drill Warrior I can recur any of the cards that have gone to my graveyard to further clear my hand up in case it gets clogged. And then with Quickdraw I have 1 tuning. I like 1 tuning and 2 Quickdraws. Makes it pretty simple. It's also another milling tool. And then we have Glow Up Bulb, which is probably one of the funniest cards that I've used in decks where I like to mill, because it mills stuff for you.
It mills Malicious.
Milling Malicious, exactly. Milling Wulf. I mean, it turns an okay situation or a bad situation into a really good situation. I mean, with all the stuff that I have the potential of milling, it's just kind of like Glow Up Bulb presents more opportunities in case things go right. And on top of all the milling, you end up getting a sense of what's left in your deck, so you know the chances of you milling a really good card. And with Foolish Burial and 1 for 1, it's really easy to get Glow Up Bulb out and start wrecking some people. Down here is the stuff that's millable. So Debris Dragon, I run 2. It also recurs the milling, so I guess that's why it's at the forefront of everything. Debris Dragon, Dandylion, any of this stuff, it just pulls out anything that I need to synchro with. I can synchro for 7. If I'm getting Treeborn back, that's an 8. It's really awesome. To combo with that, I'm also using Beast of the Pharaoh, and it's a level 3. It's that zombie monster that comes back or brings back any level 4 or lower zombie type monster when it's synchro summoned with. So Quickdraw and Beast of the Pharaoh brings out a Junk Destroyer to destroy 1 card. So some of the things that I like to do are discard with Quickdraw a Beast of the Pharaoh, and then normal summon Debris Dragon to bring back Beast of the Pharaoh. You can synchro for a level 8, and then synchro with Debris Dragon for level 7, or leave both there, especially if you had Treeborn at the beginning of the turn. I mean, it's a lot of options. Or Fishborg, you can synchro with the Formula Synchron that you bring out with these 2 guys, and Beast of the Pharaoh for a Hyper Librarian, so it's just a lot of options. As you saw in our duel, Gorz, pretty amazing card. It just loves me. And I figured that while I'm milling a bunch of stuff in my deck, either having the Gorz or not having the Gorz isn't that big of a deal, since it either threatens people or it doesn't. I mean, that's its point. People either fear it if they've seen you play it game 1, they fear it in game 2, maybe you mill it or something, but with the amount of options this deck has, it's pretty easy to get out of a bad situation if you don't have a Gorz. Another card, Shiny Black Sea. When it's in the graveyard and your opponent synchro summons a monster, you can remove it from your graveyard to destroy the synchro monster. Another one of those just, I get to mill you and I get to have fun later on cards. And it's level 1, so it works with 1-for-1. It's also a good card to discard too. And it's just really, really cool. Following that up is, of course, Dandylion. So we have Dandylion, Glow Up Bulb, and Spore down here. So all that's missing is the Lone Fires. For some reason, I just wanted to try a deck without Lone Fires, because normal summoning a Lone Fire and then going into something else is slower than I personally like. I mean, it's great. You can use debris on a Lone Fire, but with all of my milling, if I just mill a Lone Fire, it doesn't do too much for me. So Dandylion, all the crazy plays that you can do. If you discard with Quickdraw, you get 2 tokens. You can synchro 4 Drill Warrior. If you have 2 tokens and you bring back a Debris Dragon, or you summon a Debris Dragon, you bring back the Dandylion, that's a Trishula, and you get 2 more tokens. And with all the milling and stuff, I mean, it's really, really easy for that situation to occur. And Treeborn Frog and Fishborg Blaster, more of that just milling goodness. And then 1 Caius. I'm trying out the 1 Caius just because it's the My Turn answer card, since I'm not using any Solemn Warnings. I mean, if I lose on my opponent's turn because I don't have a Solemn Warning, I mean, I don't have a Solemn Warning, so there's nothing I can do about that. But on my turn, if I have like a Caius or any of these other big synchro options, it's removal on my turn, and there's very little that can be done about it other than a Solemn Warning, in which case a trap is gone, and if they don't really have anything else to protect them, I can start synchroing. So Beast of the Pharaoh, another awesome card. Works with Quickdraw, works with all of the tokens and the Treeborn, and really easy tuner monsters like Glow Up Bulb, Debris Dragon, and Spore. And so down here we have Cyber Dragon, Genex ally Birdman, and Spore. The Cyber Dragon is basically Synchro Fodder and a Beat Stick, because I don't have any other Beat Sticks in my deck besides Card Trooper, and I kind of want to keep that on the field and sit on it to keep milling. So I'm testing out a Cyber Dragon as my Beat Stick. Genex ally Birdman. I'm trying out returning really good Synchro monsters back to my deck, just so that I can use them later again, because I'm running 1 Trishula, and with the amount this deck can summon Trishula, I kind of am interested in using Genex ally Birdman to return it, synchro for something again that turn, and then save Trishula for later. It's kind of a placeholder card for Desynchro, which returns a Synchro monster from the field to the extra deck and then brings back its Synchro material so that you can Synchro again. I just haven't put it in because I wanted a higher monster count. And then Spore is just a great part of that plant engine. Remove from play the Glow Up Bulb after you've used it, get a level 2 tuner, works with Beast of the Pharaoh, and just all of this free milling discard stuff. And then for the spells, Foolish Burial, 1-for-1, Giant Trunade, and Book of Moon. All of that one card goodness. All of them are limited to 1. Trying out 1 Pot of Avarice because I wanted to keep my spell and trap count down. And I hate milling Pot of Avarice almost more than anything, especially in decks like this. So I'm keeping it at 1 to lower the chances of milling it, and increases the chances of drawing it. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, just because I synchro for a lot of destruction, and I think Space Typhoon and Giant Trunade suffice in this deck for now. And then, like I said, 1 tuning. So I have a very strange trap lineup. I have Royal Opresssion, Solemn Judgement, and Mirror Force. Royal Opresssion, just because I synchro fast enough to have a Royal Opresssion set, and then I just prevent them from synchro summoning. Just because it's, like I said, so easy to synchro for high monsters or multiple monsters in the same turn that preventing them from synchro summoning in order to get over anything is pretty easy. Then there's also Solemn Judgement. It's my, I guess, saving grace. It's the last defense, since I can recover pretty well. 1 card answers are really good for me. And then we have Mirror Force, which I'm definitely considering taking out for Torrential Tribute. Mirror Force is just because of all the swarming decks that I face. But I definitely think Torrential Tribute will be replacing Mirror Force. We have Stardust, the obligatory dragon that's like on and off trap switch guy. Everybody knows he's coming. It's like, hey, I'm going to sit here and you're either going to kill me or I'm going to find out that you can't do anything about me. 7, completely easy to go into, Black Rose Dragon. Awesome card, blows stuff up. Ally of Justice, Catastor. He's pretty much the monster that you use when you want to save up resources, at least in my deck, because with Formula and Lumina or Beast of the Pharaoh or Glow Up Bulb in one of my level 4s, Glow Up Bulb and like a Wolf Mill, any level 5, Catastor or my Hyper Librarian is pretty easy to go into. And then we have the 3 formulas. Just because Fishborg and Treeborn is too compelling for me to not run 3. It's the draw, it's my opponent's turn synchro summon, and it's a level 2 tuner that I don't really have in my deck. And then Bionic, another one of those just staple cards. It clears your hand and puts stuff into the graveyard so that you can use it later. Discards Dandylion, discards Glow Up Bulb, all the plants, anything you need to use debris for is good for that too. Malicious, so it's just a really solid card. And then Colossal Fighter, also another really good card. Fits more into the genericness of my synchro deck. Can't be destroyed by battle really because it comes back. And I don't really have that many warriors in my deck. I have Garoth. I don't have a Jane yet. I've been considering putting that in. My extra warriors kind of mostly come from my synchros with Drill Warrior and Junk Destroyer. And then we have Trishula, the beast that comes out too often. If I had to, I would probably be running 2 because it is so reliable and pretty easy to bring out. Debris Dragon, 2 Wolves and a Glow Up Bulb, or if I 1-for-1 into a level 1 tuner, and I have 2 of my level 4s out, it's pretty easy. Formula plus a Lyla plus a, I don't know, any level 4 is a Trishula as well. So it's a pretty versatile card to come out onto the field. And then we have Drill Warrior, who is super awesome. And one of him, because he doesn't come out that often, he kind of comes out if I need him, or if it's the only option that I have for the turn, and I don't know, usually that's what happens when I have a really bad hand. He gets rid of stuff and allows me to reuse cards like Caius or Debris Dragon or Lumina. And I don't know, 24 gets removed from play, special summons back during the standby phase. You can also synchro with him. I mean, he's level 6, so Treeborn and Fishborg into a formula, and then a level 8 because of Drill Warrior is really helpful. It eases up the Stardust or the Colossal. And then there's also Dark End Dragon. Pretty much the only way I get him is with Malicious and like a level 2 Spore or a Formula Synchron. But I mean, with the amount I mill, it's really not surprising to see him come out. And I run 2 quick draws, so we have Junk Destroyer, 2 Junk Destroyers, because it's just too awesome to not run. Most people kind of expect 1 for some reason. I've run into a lot of people who are really surprised that I run 2, but I mean, it's so easy to get a 3 or multiple level 1s out on the field. And since I don't run any 2s, I'm not going to run into a problem where I have to decide whether I need to bring out Junk Destroyer or Drill Warrior or something like that. It's just Junk Destroyer all the way. And then Hyper Librarian, kind of mandatory in this deck, since synchroing into formulas or any of these other guys happens so frequently. And then Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, should be replaced with Iron Chain Dragon. Haven't done it yet. I just wanted to try out this guy. 2600 attack is really awesome, but Iron Chain Dragon would definitely be a better choice in my case, since I run the 2 Debris Dragon.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Nope, that'll be it.